Shopkeeper, okay. All right, you just popped. I need something really cool. This looks great. I really want to murder people,
okay.
you know, okay?
Let's slow down a second here. That's sharp. Let's take that from you.
It looks good, though.
Okay, patch 1311. How do you want to kill
All right,
people?
I love jungle pathing, and I love murdering my opponent,
Okay,
and
perfect.
I love outsmarting people.
I got you. Here you go.
I love murdering people.
Here we go. Perfect. Kindred.
Ooh, okay.
Take that. Is great for solo queue. Level 2 red buff invades.
Nice.
Nobody expects
That sounds
those.
perfect.
Level 3, you can patch wherever you want. I've got something new for you.
Okay.
Kindred. Yeah. People used to play the Gale Force. Burst damage is great, but oh yeah.
Looks
Trinity
shiny.
Force. Riot has not nerfed this. They've been nerfing the other things. This is still packed with stats, so much damage,
Great.
so
Thank
much
you
speed.
so much.
Yeah, get out there. Okay, well, hold on. If they have any magic damage, great second item right here. Oh my God. Wits End, super stuffed, on hit damage, attack speed, magic resist, everything you need.
What if they don't have magic damage?
If they don't have any, Black Cleaver and Kraken Slayer are both good too.
All right, I gotta go. Thanks.
Okay. All right, shop's open. Who's next? Raz, what do you want?
Shopkeeper. Okay, queuing's been getting boring. I want to troll, but I want to win.
you want to troll?
Yes.
Okay, classic Raz. Actually, this is a good patch for you. Yeah, let's put that back down.
All right.
We've got one of the highest win rate champions in the whole game that was made for trolling.
This is perfect.
Yeah,
now Nico. Now I'm not.
Yeah,
now Nico. Wait. I like your getup.
You can pretend.
Can I be a shopkeeper too?
You know what? Let's keep you with wards and minions maybe. You can sneak up on people though. Proto belt, pretend to be your minion. Walk down the line.
Yeah.
Then you can jump on them. Playmaking ability.
Okay.
And then this one, let's take this so you can stay alive. Yeah.
Oh,
a little defensive stuff right there. Some Zonias after your proto belt. Go have fun, buddy.
Thank you. Okay, I got him.
Troll to your heart's content. Okay.
Kobe.
Jack, are you a troll?
Shopkeeper,
What's going on here?
Kobe.
That's me.
Why is League so hard, man?
Honestly, it's not that hard.
It's hard for me.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, how to make it easy?
What type of game do you want to play?
Easy game.
An easy game?
Yeah,
Straightforward
team fight.
game?
So,
okay. Old man jungle.
Back in the day, I built Aegis, and I just win team fights.
Okay.
How do I just build an item that lets me
Honestly,
win?
we've got just the thing for you. Tank jungles. No mechanics required. Zach and Maokai, both pretty good. Zach's a little harder. You might get invaded, so yeah, be careful. Be careful on that one. But Freak just buffed up some newly efficient support items. I won't tell anybody that you're not a support. Even Shroud, Sunfire's all the damage that you need. You don't have to do anything. It'll just burn people around you. No mechanics, no finger movements for you required. And the Abyssal, you're gonna shred for your teammates.
Dude,
everything that you need.
This is fun.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I mean, this is not finished yet. You don't really want this. Yeah, okay. You don't. Riot tried to make Rel into a jungler. It's still, it's way better. It's better as support.
Jungler.
It's
I
better,
can make it work.
It's better as an actual.
I love this idea. Thank you,
It's better as an don't first time jungle Rel, Jack.
Hi, I'm Pyosik.
DRX are your 2022 World Champions!
This is my world skin. 이제 이거는 제가 작년에 우승해서 얻은 스킨으로 킨드레드를 선택했는데 왜 킨드레드를 했냐면 제가 아마추어 때부터 킨드 장인으로 유명했었는데 그때 닉네임이 다음 표식은 너야였는데 되게 킨드 장인으로 유명했어요. 그래서 이제 프로 하기 전에 방송했던 거를 기반해서 그 약간 스토리를 담고 싶어서 비안에 프로 하기 전에 인터넷 방송한 거를 일단 이렇게 만들었고 이제 두 번째로 제가 킨드 스킨 만들 때 늑대가 좀 멋있었으면 좋겠다 했는데 되게 늑대를 라이엇 형님들이 너무 멋있게 만들어줘가지고 너무 감사한 마음이에요. 아직도 여전히. 일단 큐는 되게 뭔가 맞힐 때마다 파란색 뭔가 상처 자국이라고 해야 되나? 이 파란색 임팩트가 이렇게 딱 나오는데 이게 되게 그 색깔이 너무 잘 어울리는 것 같아요. 킨드레드랑. 그리고 이제 W는 보면은 끝자락에 약간 용무늬 모양이 있는데 이런 디테일도 되게 너무 마음에 드는 것 같아요. 보면은 너무 잘 나왔고. 그리고 이 스킬은 치명타 터질 때마다 DRX 문양이 나와가지고 되게 너무 이쁘게 잘 나온 것 같아요. 이 스킬도 이제 이게 딱 용 같아 보여가지고 너무 이 컨셉이랑 잘 맞는 것 같고, 이제 궁극기가 되게 멋있는데 옛날에 킨드 스킨 나오면은 제가 DRX에 있을 때 만약 킨드레드 스킨을 만들 수만 있다면은 이 궁극기 쓸 때 원 안에 DRX 문양이 있었으면 좋겠다라는 생각을 했었는데, 그게 딱 현실로 반영되고 오히려 더 멋있는 게 궁이 끝날 때쯤에 DRX가 생기고 이제 트로피가 이렇게 빵 터지면서 오히려 제가 생각했던 킨드레드 스킨보다 더 잘 나온 것 같아요. 이제 딱 이 궁을 쓰고 끝에는 용 문양, 뭔가 용 비늘 같은 게 있고 점점 이제 DRX 문양 나오고 이 트로피가, 와, 이거 너무 멋있는 것 같아요, 진짜. 뱀만 안 나오면 무조건 쓸 의향이 있습니다. 킨드 좀 살려주세요, 다른 팀들. I'm Pyosik. That was my world skin.
Hell yeah, love hearing from Pyosik. And here is Team Liquid's arrival earlier today. The year of the duck, they're having none of it. The back to coaching trash can. Obviously, looking to talk some smack to 100 Thieves before the matchup that we're about to see. There's the man on your screen right now, the world champion with that brand new Kindred skin.
Please don't ban Kindred. I'm with him. I want to see that skin. I do. Those details he was pointing about the dragon scales at the edge of the W and stuff, but really, really nice touches.
The wolf also looks really cool. It looks like a mecha dragon or something. Like, that's always the first thing I notice about skins. Do they look cool? That did look cool. So,
definitely.
Good job,
agree.
Pyosik and artists.
Team Liquid, though, they've got their hands full. If yesterday is any indication with 100 Thieves, even though both these teams did get W's, 100 Thieves looked so scary yesterday. Really, really clean. So I do like the early trash talk and with the ripping up of the duck, but the duck was able to hold his own.
Well, my big thing is that yesterday, for the first 12 minutes or so, Team Liquid also looked like a war machine. Like, their laning phase against TSM, who we just saw get a win against FlyQuest, was very good. Like, they were building leads individually everywhere. The problem just came in the same time that it was in spring, which was the mid-game, the coordination, the team decision-making and cohesion
TL
together.
problem time.
Yes, TL problem-solving hour. So I'm hoping that they've solved some of those problems. Even when we heard from the players yesterday in the post-game interview, they were talking about working on improving that communication, working on improving that coordination, and I want to see more of it, because going up against 100 Thieves, you're not going to be allowed to make those same mid-game mistakes that you did against TSM.
Yep, definitely agree. They were able to still get the win in the end, but those things give you worry because of what we saw in spring.
Right.
And you're expecting, like you're saying, you know, all this boot camping they did over MSI, playing all the international teams, you know, going over to Europe there with us the entire time and really putting a lot of effort into it. We'll see if that actually bears fruit here, because 100 Thieves, they were not asleep during this time either. They were boot camping as well and putting in a lot of time. And it really does seem a lot of those synergies have improved. Namely, to me, the Doublelift Busio synergy. That lane was monstrous for them. Being able to get Milio is one thing. Pairing it with Doublelift's Lucian, it's just such a dream lane phase there. That combination is so tough to deal with. And they played it with full confidence and got so many rewards out of it.
Summer Split Doublelift is a different kind of monster, man.
Summer does matter.
Yeah, summer matters, and Doublelift is ready to step up if day one is any indication. I'm hoping we can get into game here pretty swiftly, because this should be a pretty exciting matchup. Remember that 100 Thieves and Team Liquid for a long time there were at the top of the table together, and they were constantly trading blows back and forth. So let's get into it here and see which side is about to suffer their first loss and who's going to keep that perfect record after 2 days of competition. Annie's the first ban from 100 Thieves. I respect that. Feels like whenever she makes it past bans, she makes it onto the Rift.
Annie and Nico, the two most hotly contested mid laners at the moment. And with Haeri coming in and ripping up the duck, throwing him in the trash can, let's see if they... Well, there's no way they leave it up now, right? Annie's already banned, so it's going to have to be a red side Nico ban. Kindred has already found
their way onto the ban phase as well. I'm very sad to see that banned against Pyosik, but it is required. Right now, Kindred is in one of the strongest spots Kindred has been in a very long time. Especially with the Triforce in the position that it's in right now. So definitely don't want to give Kindred over to the Kindred player.
Well, we still have Zeri is available, Milio is available, Vi, Kindred, Annie banned out by 100 Thieves, Maokai, and Yuumi banned out by TL. Yeah, I would expect the Nico ban here.
You either got to give Milio and Nico. Both of those are really hard to part with.
Yeah.
But they decide for the Milio angle of it. 100 Thieves here flashing the double-lift Lucian first. And they actually lock it instead of prioritizing support. Very interesting.
Yeah, they want to make sure they go after it. Last time around, remember, we saw the first pick, Milio for FlyQuest. The immediate response, Lucian Nami for TSM. Obviously, TSM takes the win there. So I think they don't want to end up giving away that same type of a trade. But that does leave Milio open. That does mean we expect to see Team Liquid lock it in.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm curious to see what 100 Thieves are cooking here then. For this bottom lane, they have so much trust and faith in Doublelift. I'm assuming Busio then just goes with the Nami instead. But it also allows Haeri to get that Ahri, one of his favorite champs for mid lane, and get that matchup into Nukeduck. So they flash the Nami, they lock in the LeBlanc first, but they still are able to get it as expected. There's your pairing, the classic.
Yep.
Even though Milio is the new hotness, Nami is the original.
Old reliable. Lucian Nami bot lane, LeBlanc in mid, going up against that Ahri pocket pick of Haeri's like you're talking about. When your pocket pick is also a meta pick at the A tier,
It's your time.
It feels pretty good.
It's like Zeka with Akali and Silas being running the entire tournament. Perfect timing there. No surprise, the Aphelios that we expected, pairing there with the Milio.
All right, it's junglers and top laners in the second half. And when we look at our bans in the first half, there was already plenty of jungle presence there with the Kindred and the Vi and the Maokai.
Like Wukong for closer probably. Wukong and Viego both up. Very, very strong closer champions and quite good right now. If they wanted to go the tank route for him, the Sejuani is available with Maokai ban. That's kind of the...
Ooh, that's another closer special for Lee.
Really, really indexing into player-specific ban right here because he has such an affinity for it.
And also, because LeBlanc is on the enemy team, Lee Sin LeBlanc as a mid-jungle duo, that's the pop goes the health bar 2v2 right there. So they want to keep that off the table. Wukong banned out by 100 Thieves themselves, wanting to keep that one away from Pyosik.
Okay, the jungler duel deepens. We keep on forcing each other deeper and deeper into the champion pools. Will we find a Viego? Will we find... Oh, we get a top lane instead. Ssumday demanding respect on his pick. His most picked champion of all time of his career. It's 100 Thieves. They get the last swing instead.
All right, 100 Thieves. The last champ, Malphite. Okay, that one's banned out. This will be the first game today. We do not get to see any Malphite.
What's really funny is that Malphite was the original champion that caused the downfall of Summit. when Summit was actually having his MVP split, Malphite was what caused was the first domino that caused the downfall of Summit before he left for the first time and has returned. So let's see. Yes, Kha'Zix still available.
Wait,
here.
there wasn't Malphite in game one today either. I'm trolling. Malphite's just permanently in my brain because he gets picked so much. That's my bad. It's whatever. Sejuani's locked in for the side of Team Liquid, so there's some frontline. I expect each team to have at least one of these just like pure tank mega meatball champions, considering we've got like Aphelios and Lucian on the board. I wonder what we're going to get here from 100
I mean, if they go Viego, then they have to do like, tank on top side here for Ssumday. Ssumday has got to be on tank duty right now. So they go with the Kha'Zix instead of closers Viego. We'll see about it. Wow, K'Zix is still available.
Yeah.
K'Zix has slipped all the way to last pick.
And hey, Ssumday's happy to take it.
Mind. All right. Definitely, I would definitely be happy to take it as well. Provides that front line, plus always has that ability to put threat onto the back line. Are we going to actually see one of these execution-style champion counters to the top side? The Garens, the Darius, whose ultimates are made to execute K'Zix when you take yourself low. No, we are not going to see it at Last Flowers. We get another matchup with the Jax, and Summit will try his hands. Fudge didn't have such a nice time when he went for his tower dive and fumbled it a bit earlier today. Cloud9 were able to brush it off though, and not that big a deal. But when you have a pairing of the Sejuani jungle, feels so nice. It really does help your top laners out a lot usually, as they're the ones with the melee champions. They're the ones you can really get those quick stuns with, and especially if they have their own stun, Counter-Strike and Sejuani, E-stun as well as the ultimate stun. You have a tremendous amount of CC. So in 2v2 scenarios, the Sejuani Jack side always goes for the Kha'Zix. Try and kill that squishy bug first. You can stun lock him down to 0 if it's actually a 2v2.
So based off yesterday's games that we saw from these two teams, I would think most people are giving the edge to 100 Thieves in this matchup. So I want to pose the question to you early on, because that is Team Liquid's best part of the game by far statistically. What do they need to focus to build the type of lead that they need against this team?
I mean, they're going to have to focus on not throwing the leads. I think all the focus does not need to be on what they've been doing anyways.
Okay.
They've gotten their early leads. I think what they need to focus on is not giving away those picks, not making the slow rotations for objectives that have throughout all of spring, allowed so many of their games where they did step number 1. Flowers are like, you know what? Early game, lead acquired. Great. We're looking good. Everyone says we're scrim gods. Also great. Yeah. But then you end up at the bottom losing so many games, losing out so many leads, around those getting picked off in side lanes, but as well as the later game team fights. So you got to lock it down.
All right. Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, head-to-head, both coming off a win yesterday. But today, I'm really looking forward to this head-to-head. I really want to see Ssumday have another pop-off game like we got yesterday.
And especially to me for the bottom side of the map, because when we were over in Europe at MSI and Team Liquid came over to Scrim in Europe as well, a lot of the teams there were saying, wow, this TL team, kind of surprised that they're not also here at MSI. They're doing quite well in scrims, good scrim partners, but the bottom lane was one area that a lot of those teams did take advantage of versus Team Liquid. And with how Doublelift and Busio were playing yesterday, that could be a very big issue that could go into 100 Thieves' favor. So I've got a pretty big magnifying glass on that bottom lane, also because 100 Thieves opted to go with so much priority on the Lucian Nami here.
Update for everybody sitting at home. It seems we have some sort of a misfire on the client starting the game up. Investigating that right now, trying to get ourselves launched and onto the Rift. Hopefully, won't be too big of a delay and we can get in there ASAP, because I'm ready to see this matchup. This is one of the ones that I've been looking forward to ever since I first saw the schedule for day number 2. So,
and we've got the Duck on LeBlanc after the big performance from Insanity on LeBlanc in our previous game. See what he can do here. A little bit of extra trash talk spiciness thrown in on our intro from Team Liquid. Definitely also looking forward to this mid lane matchup. He did quite well yesterday. Coach Hands still has it.
Yeah, man. That's a hell of a thing to be able to prove. You go from player to coach, now you're back to player because of emergency substitution and you're playing just fine. That's feels good.
If they could start out with 3-0 super week with Quid, by the way, he's been tweeting. I followed his Twitter account really early on, and so he just arrived, and so this was like his first day waking up in actually LA. So I assume he will start getting more of the practice time now that he's actually here with the team, and they'll get him up to speed in this next week. But this week is looking like it's going to be all Nukeduck here, since he's been the one putting in the time and he's ready. No jet lag, no issues to adjust to. But it's good to see to hear that 100 Thieves have actually gotten the intended young starter coming from LCK challengers to see if we can actually get that full intended roster on stage and the real hype begin.
Yeah, it makes sense not to play him in week 1, even if he got here today. I mean, if the dude's not practiced with the team at all, he's jet lagged. It's like, okay, this is probably not the best way to debut a guy.
If your coach is only like a year out of pro play too, and is feeling confident, yeah, definitely helps to have options.
Right. I mean, it's not like they're having You know, like you or Jack come back in and play for him when you guys played back in
whoa,
2010. Hey, man, look, I'm not trying to talk some smack, but I'm just saying 2013 was 10 years ago, right? Like the Duck
true.
is more fresh. He's LCS fresh.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely true. I am washed.
That was not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you were one of the establishing founding fathers of professional League of Legends competition
I'm a
here in North
pillar.
America.
Yeah.
A pillar of the community, damn it.
Yeah, honestly though, yeah, it really does help, and it's funny too because we've had discussions a lot of the time. You know, mostly when people are just throwing out random podcast questions and stuff about what if League of Legends was changed to have a coach be on comms with you during the game. And have like a 6-person and
Sixth headset.
actually change the way that the game is played. And we're like, that's kind of interesting to think about, but it would fully change what skills they're actually testing in League. And then, players wouldn't have to think so much about macro and all that stuff. But now, if you have the next evolution of you have your player spend time as a coach for a while, and then come back as a player, and then boom, you've got the best of both worlds. Now you do have your coach in game on comms with you to deliver you that high value Nukeduck coaching of have you tried just winning?
Exactly. Dude, he can just pilot everyone's brains himself like it's a game of StarCraft. That's what they always said that Hai used to do back in the old school days of Cloud9, right? Is he was just the shot call king. He would tell everybody, okay, you go here. Okay, you do this. Having a guy who can pilot all the other guys, that's overpowered.
What's really funny about that story is I know, especially like Sneaky and Medios, they're like, that did not happen.
Oh, really?
we did not get micromanaged.
Oh,
There's
no,
communication, but
I'm peddling fake news. My apologies on that, Sneaky and Media. My bad,
I
boys.
love it because it became its own meme of everyone just being like, yeah, just shot call him whenever anything extraordinary happened.
Well, anyway, Nukeduck's brain coming back onto the Rift obviously worked good for 100 Thieves for the first time. Still no updates on the game load issue. Hopefully it works out here pretty soon. Fun fact, I'm going to say this right now to hopefully bring some attention to it. So there's currently a new thing on Spectator. So you know how when you spectate League of Legends games, it has the 3-minute delay built in? And if you try to spectate at the very beginning of the game before 3 minutes passes, you have to wait in the client for it to tick down. I spectate a lot of games, so I'm aware of this. Unfortunately, right now, there's a new issue where even if you're in the middle of the game and you go to spectate, the client gets mad at you and makes you sit in timeout for 3 minutes before you can spectate it, even if you shouldn't have to wait. So I'm wondering if maybe this has something to do with that and we're in 3-minute prison.
Well, I just got an update that game actually didn't even load at all, so they're fully having to remake now from scrap. So we are in a new situation where we're going to load it right back up, get everybody back into the lobby as quickly as we possibly can, start a fresh one. That old game was that one wasn't very good anyway. That was going to be a bad one.
Yeah.
This one, that lobby was cursed. That was a cursed lobby. It was going to be boring. It was going to be a farm fest. It was going to be 0 kills at 20 minutes. So we're going to load up a new lobby for you all, a way more exciting perfect.
Yeah, that's great. It's Kobe's.
Way more exciting. As exciting as Busio is right now.
Yeah, he's just thinking about that new lobby. That's what he's focused on. You ever go to the grocery store and you buy what looks like a good banana, and then you get home and you go to eat the banana, and there's a big old bruise on it or something? First game was a bruised banana. This next one,
Disgusting.
perfect.
So I started buying ones that are slightly green.
Okay.
And I made the mistake because I heard, it's actually a lot more valuable to you nutritionally before more of the fiber gets converted into sugar. So like the green banana fiber is really good for you, but then I made the mistake of going too far. It was too healthy and tasted like trash.
I did that back when I was home in Ohio a couple of months ago, and while I was visiting, my sister was there, and she's like super vegan and everything, so she buys all this health stuff. And so part of that is it's the same thing with the bananas that you're talking about, but I didn't know that she buys them so early that she waits like 2 or 3 days for them to ripen more. And so I just ate this hella green banana that was like
it was good for you.
It was like biting into a tree trunk.
Yeah,
though. I'm like, what is this?
It's terrible.
That was one of the weirdest things I ever ate in my life. I didn't know bananas did that.
Some good prebiotic fiber for you, Flowers.
I don't know what that first word means, but
Well,
it sounded
tastes
really
like
smart. tastes like stuff. Is what it tastes like. But hopefully we're back into the game soon. We're remaking the lobby right now. The players are
What
checking
tournament realm are we on
what's
right now?
under their
Producers,
chairs.
what tournament realm? I'll load up too. What do we got here?
Yeah, what do you got? Turn that thing on.
We got
Kobe.
TR 1, 2, 3, 4.
Kobe actually has
5, 6.
his own like in-game spectator that he can use off to the side to check in-game information and stuff. I just have my monitor
Yeah, but
turned to
they crashed me out. They
the game
ditched
feed
me.
again. Yeah.
I
They did.
I was in there on the last one. Boom, it crashed. They remade. Now they're going off to play without us, Flowers.
You're gonna have to get.
We're
back
the
in there.
ones getting left behind.
Well, I mean, I'm not because I wasn't in the game to begin with. I have my play-by-play monitor here. That's just whatever I'm supposed to talk at.
So you actually weren't even invited.
Yeah.
I'm getting left behind now.
Yeah.
So now I'm stuck outside with you.
The bus took off without you. They never even told me where the bus stop was.
Well, I'm happy to chill here with you outside the club.
Hell yeah, dude. We're chilling. All right, well, I was just updated that while we wait for the game to be remade and get us onto Summoner's Rift for our third game of the day, we're going to toss things back to the lounge. So everybody, take it away.
They were also not invited.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks Flowers and Kobe. I heard there's a ghost game.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's essentially why we're
Spooky.
stuck, because the players, it just says that they're like waiting to reconnect and they can't get control back of their clients. So we got the best people working on it.
It's fun because I've had a few client experiences around either being stuck in a spectating game, so I try to spectate a friend, and it's like, okay, you can't get out and you can't spectate. That sucks. Or there's one where I'm in a lobby, getting ready to play the game, and you're all just stuck as a hostage. I haven't had that one in a long time, though. That one I feel like has been stomped out, but I don't know. This one seems like a
There was
similar.
a time where that one was around for a while.
Yeah.
And then you're just stuck. And then if it was a really bad game, it's like, oh no,
True.
you're stuck with these people for a really long time
That's one way to view it.
until the client lets you out of jail.
So, guys.
I will say, I feel more confident about my Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves prediction.
What's the
for Team
prediction?
Liquid to win.
He was the only
yeah.
one
That,
picking
yeah.
TL, yeah.
So the theme of my predictions today was don't overreact off of yesterday.
Haven't you all? That's all you've done. At least in the top of show, you've been overreacting. With
I've been
Golden Guardians.
underreacting. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, wait, Mark was the
Dude, Golden
overreactor.
Guardians had like a whole split of mediocrity, or like a whole decade.
Oh,
of
so you're
mediocrity.
saying we're overreacting? Okay, that's the take.
I don't want to use
We're
this as an opportunity
overreacting
to
to
talk down
them
on Golden
improving
Guardians.
at
Okay.
MSI?
I love Golden Guardians. They're the best.
Okay.
I want to specifically talk about TL and 100 Thieves. So basically, 100 Thieves is playing with Nukeduck.
Yeah.
They're not playing with they played with Bjergsen last split.
Yeah.
They're going to have Quid soon. I think I actually saw him around, but I don't think he's able to play yet. And then Team Liquid, running back their roster from yesterday, still an extremely strong early game,
Yes.
but just questionable late game. It seems because 100 Thieves was so dominant over FlyQuest, it's like Mark at the start of the show was putting them through the thermometer in our heat check, saying to the moon.
Yeah,
But it's
you did
literally
do
based
that.
off one game. And the reason I am more strongly committing to the Team Liquid pick now is because TSM won against FlyQuest.
Ooh, is a
So-
false equivalency alert.
It's a very How is it false? It's an equivalency
It's a different
of
game.
what happened, Raz.
It's a different game.
100 Thieves stomped FlyQuest, who couldn't even beat TSM, or TSM is actually not that bad.
I like that one.
And Team Liquid struggling to close the game against the macro gods of TSM.
You need a new TED Talk.
Here's my thing, though, is that if you're looking at both of these teams' play styles, and they both play like we expect them to, right? Those mid-game mistakes that TL are inevitably going to have in terms of their team fight setups and just general, like, neutral objective setups. Someone's going in, the
Yeah.
rest of the team isn't there. I feel like 100 Thieves are the perfect team that want to capitalize on that, right? Because they're going to be typically playing through bot. I know Ssumday had a really great day, but yeah, they're going to be playing through bot, and they'll be able to out-team fight.
Yeah, I just feel 100 Thieves have just had a really solid understanding of mid-game. Something that they've done in the tail end of the last split was just, of course, overgroup at times. But the thing that Ssumday now brings is that that's just the natural style that he has. Not to overgroup, but at least to play to a weak side of the map, and then when he gets pushed, to make a move to the mid lane so they can actually get fights going. So that's something that I've noticed from 100 Thieves last split. Now, Closer, I feel like he was robbed last game. To me, he was like player of the game after watching the game back again. He was just living in the enemy jungle and just making it really painful. And the team was around him when making that happen. So like when he invaded topside, it was Ssumday that was there. So these things really matter, and I think 100 Thieves have it locked down.
Their draft was pretty good yesterday, too.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had really good team comp.
Yeah.
Team Liquid's team comp was a little all over the place.
It wanted to do a lot of things.
So basically, from my memory, challenge to the graphics team. Emily has notes, but they had a Kennen top lane. They had Aphelios bottom lane.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is the one I didn't take notes because we did draft live. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Basically, their overall team comp was everyone can carry. They had Ahri mid lane.
Yep.
They had no real setup. They had Vi jungle.
By jungle.
So they had no tank and relatively poor engage.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where you just kind of like give everyone the ball at once and hope it works. My analogy was everyone was trying to cook.
There we go.
But they're all trying to cook on the same stove. It ended up working because they got the massive early game lead, but the actual cohesion of that team composition is like really lacking.
I think it's fine. The only one that challenges it is Vi. Vi, I think, has a completely different theme than the rest of the champs, where it's like, you want the enemy team to walk into you. Of course, this is a full engage composition from TSM. So it's like Renata, great counter engage. Ahri, who's going to be playing a flank. And Aphelios, if you have enough protection, which is the concern here, then you can just start pumping damage as they're walking towards you, and it's going to be really difficult with the range advantage you have versus Xayah. So I actually liked it. The one which is odd was the Vi in the 8-minute team fight where Vi goes in without literally anybody to follow up. That's where you're like, yeah, that's a good example of it. But I liked the idea. There were just some pieces that didn't work with it.
Yeah, next we should actually take a look at 100 Thieves draft from day one because I'm very impressed by production's ability to pull up that draft so quickly.
That's true.
So
now we're challenging them.
We'll talk about that because they had Milio, and they had significantly more range. And I think that was actually really interesting to me because even though they still don't have their whole team here, Kane did join their team during the offseason and was there in their boot camp in Korea. Kane, former coach of Team Liquid, one thing that he would always preach when I worked with him was that range was extremely important. So this was the draft from their game yesterday. And even though they have a Lucian, which is traditionally shorter range, they have Milio, they have Ahri, they have Wukong, they can extend into range of what FlyQuest wants to do if they're ever trying to take control of a space.
Yeah.
And that allows them to play very well. This is also a game where Renekton ended up getting like a 50 CS lead, so Ssumday's Renekton was very, very big. But just something to keep in mind with 100 Thieves drafts, because they're bringing back like the Kane double of synergy. They're going to play around bot lane, and they're going to try and get team compositions with more range, like consistently.
Yeah, and I thought they did a really good job of showcasing the Milio-Lucian combo, especially into Yuumi. Obviously, these are champs that we've either been used to seeing get banned, depending on draft, but I really liked 100 Thieves and Doublelift and Busio's approach to playing that lane out, especially recognizing, again, if you take Ahri as Milio into the Yuumi, how you can proc that. In some of their skirmish, like their really early skirmishes, especially the one that initially blew Princess Flash. That was really good. Also, as we talked about at top of day 2, Renekton generally got a few buffs as well on this patch.
Yeah.
And Ssumday is also the kind of player who's been playing Renekton since like, what, season 4?
Is this
season
a race
3,
to Renekton?
Season 4?
In this game,
so like, it's one of those champions that he's always going to just be like, yeah, pick me Renekton. I'm super comfortable on it. So.
Yeah, and I think outside of those matchups, kind of once again praising closer, whenever you see comps like that, where you're like, okay, enemy team comp, very weak early, weak jungle, weak bot lane, looking to invade constantly. Like, I will just remember the fact that he bullied him on bot side of the camps, and then went through mid lane, then basically challenged his blue buff. And when he realized he wasn't going to fight for blue, it's like, okay, we'll just challenge him on Gromp instead. Like, Spica was just completely out of the game, but now we're looking at this draft that has been locked in.
Yeah, and you can see the Renekton was banned in the 4-5 by Team Liquid. Also, having the 5th pick Jax to make sure that the K'Sante moves mid lane. It is kind of the classic double melee plus Sejuani, try and win side lanes flank. That team composition, as we talked about, much less range than the 100 Thieves team composition. So it's literally going to be, to me, a lot about whether or not 100 Thieves can move into spaces with their range first and prevent flanks from Team Liquid. But it does thematically kind of work with the way that Team Liquid has been playing, which is just dominate lanes and then kind of skirmish team fights.
Yeah, I think this draft from TL, if we are comparing it to yesterday, is a little bit more cohesive as well, because obviously Haeri on the Ahri, it's one of his most comfortable champions. We've talked about that a lot on broadcast. But having the Sejuani Ahri combo, they can also
giga trolling. I'm sorry.
Make plays.
This pick order totally threw me off. I'm sorry. Literally, I was looking at right side, all those 5 champions together, and I'm like, they can't have Kha'Zix and Sejuani. So sorry, I am 100% trolling. Aphelios, Milio.
I thought you were going to say you disagree that they can play through mid with Ahri Sej, and I was about to get into a fight with you.
Nah, I'm off. So the Sejuani doesn't have double melee synergy. Haeri's just playing Ahri again, which is his comfort pick.
Yeah.
They're trying to...
I mean, it's a lot of comfort picks across the board, and Milio.
It's fine. There's not a massive range advantage. Disregard what I said for like a minute. Listen to what I said in the last 10 seconds. I'm so sorry.
A small thing that I want to point out is mostly just Nukeduck. Something we mentioned coming into game 1 was the fact that he actually does play quite a bit. Plays in solo queue, played in champions queue. It was actually when a lot of mid laners weren't. He was the one that was playing, I felt like, the most, or at least when I was watching it. And in this comp, like, I want to see 100 Thieves on side lanes. Especially with Kha'Zix and LeBlanc, that's a lot of damage that Ahri really can't deal with, and Sejuani is going to really struggle to keep up. So that's something that I'm expecting, is just LeBlanc Kha'Zix combo on sides, to then maybe get pressure around Baron or Drakes if they're trying to stack it. That's one thing I want to zero in on. I thought Nukeduck had an amazing game 1 versus Vikla, and now he's going up against Haeri, and it just proves a point. It's funny enough, going into the offseason when the Bjergsen announcement was made, I personally thought, I was like, oh, I mean, Nukeduck didn't take much of a break. I felt like maybe he gets slotted in as the mid laner. That's what I thought, but you know, most players that come in coaching still have aspirations to come back as a player. But hey, he gets a chance to prove a point when he goes back into coaching of like, hey, now Quid, welcome to the team. This is what I did while you were away. Now I've seen you play LeBlanc. Here's an example of Nukeduck LeBlanc.
One thing that I'm really curious to get your guys' opinion on, obviously, because 100 Thieves on blue side first picked the Lucian, presumably expecting the Milio to come out from TL. We've seen a lot of, like, not only is Lucian Milio a combo, but additionally Lucian Nami into Milio lanes, because he's not known as much of a stronger laner as other combos, and obviously Lucian's something that Doublelift is super comfortable with. This is an early game strategy initially coming out of 100 Thieves, right? And we've talked about how strong TL's early game has been previously. So how do you guys think this is going to match up in game?
Well, I'm trying to get information right now in the lobby, because TL has actually made it back in the lobby, but 100 Thieves hasn't. So I'm trying to dig some info from Yeon.
They're lagging behind.
He actually says that blue side might have better champs. So we'll see, because TL is red side in this draft. But it basically, win or lose, it's good for us, Aphelios, he says, but I'm going to get punished, he says.
Okay.
The honesty.
Lucian Milio was really good for 100 Thieves yesterday. Doublelift running back the Lucian was not necessarily influenced by Uzi's return, but is still something that Doublelift has had a lot of success with.
Just a quick update. We're doing a settings check, getting Nukeduck and just the team as a whole back in there. So I think we don't have, like, we're going to be pretty quick to get back in just from the information that I've heard if we're just doing a settings check there. So that's nice to hear.
Dude, how funny is it that Nukeduck doesn't have 100 in his name?
I was thinking the same thing.
He's just Nukeduck, yeah.
Well, if you're a coach, if you're getting the, what's it called, access to Tournament Realm, you won't have the tag. You can add the tag. I think you can still add the tag.
You can't change your name yourself, though, because they don't give you any RP. They give you a full unlocked account, but you don't have enough to make a name change, and there's no way of buying RP.
I feel like you used to be able to do it. I feel like you used to have a lot of RP just in TR in the past.
Not the last time I checked.
Okay.
I'm seeing an R in for TL.
Yeah, both teams typing
100
ready.
100 Thieves says ready.
Producers, is it time to send it back to casters? Unknown. We're sending it back. We're in draft. Thank goodness. Let's go.
All right, we're back. Hopefully, we got all 10 of our players ready to go.
I see a lobby. I'm in here.
All right, Kobe's in the lobby. They are remaking the draft, everything exactly as is or as was.
I'm playing. Just kidding.
Oh, I was going to say, all right, well, if you're going to play from here, I feel like you probably shouldn't be able to look at this monitor.
I need a different mouse, actually.
Yeah.
What the? All right, actually,
mouse?
we are. So currently, I see the band. So I can just tell you the bands. Oh, wait a second.
It's the same draft, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the graphic already up on.
Yeah. No, we've got it up on the screen.
Because we got the thing cutting.
Yeah. So, right, we're pretty much just waiting for the players to go through everything. Everything's exactly the same as it was the last time y'all saw it, so they're rushing through it right now. And then it'll be loaded onto the Rift, and hopefully we can get things started for game number 3. There was unfortunately no gameplay for us to talk about since it was a champ select load error, and we already talked a bunch about bananas and whatever.
Yep.
So, you know, we're just kind of waiting the same way y'all are to get into this game. I'm sincerely hoping we get action-packed gameplay now. I hope that this has got the players fired up enough.
Have you ever heard Mitch Hedberg's stand-up comedy?
Yes.
Have you heard the joke about bananas?
No, I've heard the one about escalators.
Okay. Well, actually, I don't think I can actually tell the banana joke because it's got an F-bomb in it, but
Just bleep yourself.
but you should definitely go and look that joke up.
Just bleep yourself.
No. I think we'll get into game. They're starting it right now. We've got 30 seconds on the clock.
Well, you realize now, after we're done with this game, because this is the last game you and I are casting for the day, once we go back behind the scenes, you have to at least tell me the joke in the hallway.
I will.
Okay.
I for sure will. It doesn't have that pop if I just bleep and bleeping yourself, I like that's weird mechanics.
What do you mean it's weird mechanics?
So I go. So the line at the end is, "Where the F did you get that banana?" I guess I could do it like that. Yeah,
kind of. Yeah. We'll get there. We're getting there.
Yeah, we'll get there later.
The lobby's also getting there. It just hit 0. So as long as this launches, we will be into game for game number 3 of the day. Okay, client launching. We didn't get to this point last time. All right, we're in. I see player cards. I see champion splash
Take us through.
art.
You're gonna shoutcast the loading bar.
Well, that's what I was going to do, but it loaded
90%.
instantly.
Oh, 100%. We're in. We're in the fountain. Woo, flowers.
They had some fast computers up there. This isn't like solo queue where you wait on the guy playing on a TI-84 to load into the game. Let's go. All right, here we are. It's 100 Thieves versus Team Liquid. A little late, but ready to rock and roll. Let's see who's going to keep the wins going as Nukeduck running alongside his bottom lane duo down into the brushes here in bottom lane.
So now that we didn't tell the banana Mitch Hedberg joke throughout this game, can I just drop where the F did you get that banana?
Yeah, go for it. No worries.
We'll hit it like 5 or 6 times.
Come on, man. Everybody gets one.
All right. As far as sweepers go, we have 0 sweepers. So it doesn't seem like there's going to be too many crazy shenanigans going. Nobody eyeballing each other's raptors. Sejuani has a pretty easy time taking her own, no problem. The rest of the TL members going to get that coveted raptor ward that we talked about in the previous game. My favorite, please, solo queue mid laners, do this for your jungler. It is so incredibly helpful, and it helps you too.
Yeah, helping your jungler helps you.
Your opponent's jungler, when they're pathing red quadrant towards raptors, and you don't get ganked. All right, it's a good one. It is going to see, even seeing that Kha'Zix does not go over there for the early start, you can then assume blue quadrant start for the Kha'Zix, and you know it's going to be top side start for both junglers heading towards that bottom side. Team 100 Thieves, remember they invested a lot into this Lucian Nami. First pick Lucian for Doublelift after the big Lucian performance yesterday. So there's a lot of eyeballs down here at this bottom lane.
All right, Busio and Doublelift, the Lucian Nami. One of those things that when you pick it, I always want to see that lane control, that dominance, that aggressive gameplay. If I don't get it, I'm just like, why are we picking these champions? So hopefully Doublelift, we can relive the glory days of the old, my pocket pick is Lucian, and really see this pop off again. Back in the mid lane, speaking of pocket picks, Haeri on the Ahri, you talked about it back in the original Champ Select. He had a great game on it yesterday, and I expect him to continue to perform on it again here today. He's loved the champion for a long time, and with it being in its current state in the meta, there's no reason not to go for it. They picked it nice and early. A little bit of trading going back and forth here in every lane, as our tri-lane camera is showing us mostly combat in top right now. Ssumday and Summit going into that one, but back in mid, just trading blows. Ssumday hits level 3. Summit's going to be on the losing end of a trade because of it.
Really nice combo there from Ssumday, actually. Able to avoid a lot of the damage, gets the pullback, but we have the slip over the back. Q early on, super long cooldown here for Sejuani. So biding his time, Pyosik for the right moment.
Looking for it. W2 not going to find the target there. Doublelift flashing out of the way. Busio was already out of maximum range. Team Liquid backs off, seeing closers show up. They already spent some of their cooldowns trying to engage there. So now the Cozy Campfire gets to heal everybody up. Remember, that's a heal over time that moves along with the closest champion. So just tops everybody back off, and Team Liquid's feeling fine.
All right, so even though Doublelift and Busio were able to 2v2 force out the heal, CoreJJ used it early. It's a pretty short cooldown summoner spell, and using it early, you're gonna get the value there. The health will remain. Meanwhile, the flash being forced out by Pyosik's kind of pathing over towards Tribrush. That one's gonna be a bit of a stickler. Doublelift, much more vulnerable, and so is Closer as Pyosik gets a beautiful aftershock trade.
Yeah, Pyosik recognizing that he has some really snappy bursts there against that Kha'Zix and taking a huge chunk of HP out of him. Gonna feel good about that one as Doublelift and Busio are again shoved back underneath the turret here. Yeon and CoreJJ with control over the bottom lane.
A lot of good stuff here out of the world champion jungler Pyosik here from Team Liquid, even not on his signature pick. Yeah, he was down to camp because he got down here super early, but do you think it was worth blowing Doublelift's flash with how aggressive this 100 Thieves bottom lane has been, taking away that possibility here for Doublelift and opening up a lot more easy room here for the Aphelios Milio to keep on farming, get control of the lane back for them, get the wards down as well to cover for Kha'Zix. So very good stuff here. Coverage from Pyosik.
Doublelift at 200 HP as Yeon keeps trying to poke underneath this turret. The level up there going to heal him a little bit. As Yeon, you do have to be a little bit careful there with the Infernum. You can accidentally take some turret aggro if they stand behind the turret when you auto-attack it. So just wants to make sure that he does not lose any HP for free as the teleport brings Nukeduck back to the mid lane, and Haeri's will do the exact same. Difference in purchases here. Haeri going for the double laning power items of the Doran's Ring and the Dark Seal, while it's a full Mercury Treads purchase for Nukeduck on the LeBlanc. Doublelift running very low on mana here in the bottom lane. Yeon and CoreJJ just doing everything they can to keep that pressure up.
Yeah, and I do like early Merc Tread rush here. There's so much CC on the side of Team Liquid. And Ahri with ultimate and Sejuani with ultimate is very, very difficult to get away from. A lot of value out of the tenacity from that. And meanwhile, 2v2, that 2v2 we were hyping up in Champ Select. It's very dangerous for the Kha'Zix to play.
Ssumday, 300 HP, 100 HP, already dead. Summit just smacks him right upside the skull. They wanted to try to find an angle there for Ssumday to go all out because he had level 6. Nobody else was there. But man, Team Liquid just made it way too easy. K'Sante was way too low.
That's exactly what we highlight in Champ Select. The power of that CC chain from Sejuani and Jax. Nicely done from Summit and Pyosik. The Kha'Zix doesn't provide a lot of value in the standoff 2v2, so they know they can just jump on forward. They go straight for K'Sante. Guess what? Someday, even though you're already low, there's no spot for you, good spot for you to ultimate, and you get stunned out, locked down. Huge stuff here for Team Liquid. Another early game Flowers, where already they're taking advantage of an early lead. Pyosik controls the bottom lane for his duo down there, gets that into a safe situation, burns the flash off Doublelift, then goes to the top side. They win the first blood race, and getting Jax first blood money is very, very impactful to try and fund his Divine Sunderer rush.
Well, let's see if Team Liquid can get this Drake without any contest. It looks like they will. You can see no rotations coming out from 100 Thieves. Doublelift and Busio just shoving the wave up bottom side. Pyosik confirms the Drake for the side of Team Liquid.
Okay, big stuff here from the Team Liquid jungler thus far. He's not even behind in camps at all either to the Kha'Zix. And when you're able to rush the Bomby Cinder, it's really nice. That helps so much with your clear speed for all these tank junglers. Would love to try and get some cooldown reduction in there pretty early on, but man, that burn does really speed up the clear a lot. And Pyosik should be able to full clear the rest of his jungle again. Alpha Dragon, just go blue quadrant up towards red quadrant, pick up his red. He's got level 6 acquired now on the Sejuani, so he can look for those really, really potent Sejuani stun combinations yet again.
And Nukeduck's doing just fine here in this mid lane as well. The sub mid laner, you can see him constantly going aggressive there on the LeBlanc, jumping back and forth between distortions, trying to trade as frequently as he can with Haeri's Ahri, doing a good job sidestepping the return of that Q as well. Now it's 100 Thieves starting up the Herald here very swiftly after it spawned. Pyosik is aware of this. He has the control ward there in the pit. Closer needing to be mindful here of what Team Liquid might be able to do.
Mid lane diff though. Haeri's going back to base. Yeah, rough stuff there for Pyosik, because even though versus the Kha'Zix, if it's isolated there, and Kha'Zix is already pretty low on Rift Herald, Pyosik can definitely handle it and chase him off, but...
Okay, nice, the root. Nukeduck with a flash away.
necessary.
That just... They got the flash, I can applaud that, but I don't think you were ever going to be able to get more than that against a LeBlanc just running out of the brushes with Milio and Aphelios. So
Yeah, we'll see if there's any repeat there, because that's a pretty decent 5-minute window that you can try and make something happen. The double-lift flash that was blown was they were unable to repeat or make a big punish on the bottom lane. It did make them play a lot more safe. And maybe didn't go for as many trades. Maybe gave up a few CS or something for the 100 Thieves side, but no repeat as far as gank or anything goes there, so mostly a relief one there. Meanwhile, the LeBlanc, though, it's kind of annoying because that passive is super annoying to deal with when you're going to try and gank her, but tracking the cooldown on that, it's pretty short, so that the passive will be back up, the flash will not, and really need to make use of that burst. So that's why we really do actually like those Merc Tread Rush for Nukeduck here, so even without his flash available, should be able to weather the storm.
Well, we've got the first completed item of the game with the Umbral Glaive for Closer. Nice cheap item there, a little lethality spike, and the extra vision control can go a long way too. So maybe this is the avenue for 100 Thieves to try to find their first kill of the game. Just now hitting 10 minutes on the clock. Not even 300 gold separating the teams. Doublelift and Busio both level 6, but still not on that first item spike that Lucian Nami is really at their deadliest with. Yeon and CoreJJ just hanging back for now. Don't want to expose themselves to anything. They're waiting on their own jungler and mid laner to make a rotation down here. Pyosik is going to sweep out the brush, find the ward sitting there, but he can't clear it in time. And Haeri also found the control ward in the pixel brush, so Team Liquid's attempted play doesn't turn into a whole lot. Nice sidestep there from Yeon versus the bubble of Busio means he will not be set up for a potential play from Closer, as Nukeduck wanted to jump on Haeri there. If that charm connects, I think you follow it up with Pyosik, but the problem was there is no Glacial Prison just yet. Still a few seconds away from it, so unlikely to be a 100-0 either way.
Yeah, and good dodge from the Duck, the coach in the mid lane again, holding quite well. Doesn't look like there is a liability here at all for 400 Thieves. Closer, meanwhile, he already cleared it out.
Yeon with the flash. Gets himself away from the bubble yet again. Culling from Doublelift takes Yeon down to half HP. Team Liquid's AD carry popping the Summoner Spell in time to stay alive.
And good use of the ultimate here from Kha'Zix to try and get that AD carry flash out. That thing won't be available for Dragon number 2. Repeat attempt on Nukeduck.
I mean, Nukeduck knows. He's like, okay, why is the Ahri just standing here, slowly moving forward towards me back and forth? Something's got to be up. He does not want to commit to that. Meanwhile, back in bottom lane, it's the Nami wave coming out, but Pyosik's ready to reinforce. Doublelift's got to be careful as Yeon's also down to about 400 HP. 100 Thieves thought they had the angle there, but once Pyosik shows up, they gotta be respectful. Busio's nearly killed, but instead it's Closer swooping in to pick up Yeon. Now Pyosik's locked up in the bubble, and 100 Thieves have outfought him. Pyosik still tries to escape as teleports show up for both sides. Team Liquid's gonna have their man arrive first, and Nukeduck and Haeri both show up only to disengage with their teams.
Wow. Doublelift is in such a good form, Flowers. This summer is looking so good for 100 Thieves. The damage he got into Yeon during that play, holding his flash, knowing that he has the advantage there, even when they see the Sejuani. Take a look at this. So they started out with Nami Wave and Bubble, but even when they see Sejuani, he gets a big chunk here. He kites back with the heal from Busio, uses that speed, drops the aggro through the brush. Then as Busio gets stunned up, he tries to put in counter damage onto Yeon and flashes away from Pyosik. Flashes the Sejuani flash. He has that all in his mind. He's putting the counter damage into the AD carry so that Closer can jump in to get the kill. He also knows the Sejuani wants that juicy Q flash onto him. He gets out of the way. He's actually just playing on point here. And so Closer does get the kill and gets the extra lethality for the Kha'Zix here. And then they're able to rotate support and AD carry over towards mid lane. 100 Thieves taking that lead back from Team Liquid.
Might be cloudy out, man, but Summer Doublelift does not care. The mechanics are there. He's thinking about what he needs to be doing. He's executing well, exactly what 100 Thieves needs. Ssumday gonna pick up a plate here in the top side. Has his Iceborne Gauntlet fully completed. Divine Sunderer also finished for Summit on the other side. So mythic items for both of our top laners here in that 1v1. You can see the Everfrost coming online here for Haeri's Ahri. Very, very good item with this champion to make those charms much easier to hit. Set yourself up for increased pick potential, even if it doesn't have the same damage of something like a Liandry's. But it's 100 Thieves going after the second Drake of the game. It would be their first. Nukeduck seeing what he might be able to find. Just a quick little burst onto Haeri, but nobody from TL is around to contest this, so we're even on the Drakes. While the Dragon is slain, the Cloud Winds are going to be the Rift this time around. Unfortunate that we're not going to get one of the more action-packed Drakes, but hey, it's 1-1 on the count anyway, so it's not like anybody was pursuing a fast stack. Pyosik is looking potentially to make something happen up here, but he's walked over a ward, just going to go into the enemy jungle, see what's up, steal away this blue buff, maybe. But 100 Thieves is bringing in the backup to try to stop him. Doublelift, backing away, pops the cleanse as soon as he's hit with a Glacial Prison. Does not want to be there for the rest of Team Liquid's follow-up.
Okay, so 100 Thieves now, no sums on their AD carry for the Rift Herald fight. That causes Team Liquid to start it back up. They immediately jump on this one, knowing that that Lucian is vulnerable, and looks like 100 Thieves still calling him over a little bit. They're thinking about it, debating the call.
Cozy Campfire, keeping Summit and Pyosik nice and healthy. Okay, Team Liquid, they're just going to force the objective there, take that Herald, get away. Nukeduck, however, in the bottom lane, looking for the fight against Haeri. Doesn't take it any further here. Maybe not. Second Distortion roots him up. Is it the weak of the duck? Nope, not quite. Does at least get the ulti out of the Ahri. Much longer cooldown for Haeri than it is for Nukeduck.
Yeah, definitely so. Nice little moves there. Takes away a lot of the bite, a lot of that playmaking from the Ahri by getting that ultimate down. And even though Team Liquid were able to get that Rift Herald, looking pretty close here. I do like the call from Team Liquid. As soon as they get that cleanse out, Sejuani ult traded for the cleanse. They go for it. They're able to burn it down. And Ssumday, again, pretty low health here on the Cassante. He's got his ult and flash available though, so he should be okay. He's giving a lot of respect to the dive.
Cassante is one of the best champions to try to outplay a dive with, but when you don't have much HP, when it's Jax and Sejuani together, it's just too much. So Ssumday has to back away, and with first turret credit going over to Team Liquid, the game is back to a dead even state 16 minutes out.
Yeah, I mean, I love personally this top jungle combination. Jax just with the auto attack resets can stack up Sejuani passive so quickly, so you threaten with a lot of burst damage and so much CC. And getting a Jax fed here off of first tower taken is very, very beneficial for Team Liquid's mid-stage games where they want to have this split push priority. They want to get that side lane going in their favor first. And they're going to use Rift Herald to get the outer and mid lane as well. This charge and just a tiny bit of damage will finish it up, and that's going to be 2 outer towers for TL.
Nicely done from Liquid. Again, keeping the game even in gold, but we are at that point of the game now where it's time for the bigger fights. It's time for more objective-based gameplay, and it's time for that coordination to show up. That's where the pressure is right now. 100 Thieves is the team you expect to be better at it. Team Liquid is the squad that we've been waiting to see it for so long.
All right, 1-1 on Dragons as well, so dead even right now. Doublelift has his BF sword on top of the Kraken, as does Yeon, so pretty comparable. See if they get any explosive initiation. The cleanse is about back up. Then you're gonna have both summoners available for both of these carries. And Summit's fishing around. They want to try and burn those again. A minute 16 out from the Dragon would be great timing to burn some summoner spells off some key carries, even if you don't get kills. Always nice to go fishing around ahead of time here for the Dragon spawn, so your shorter ultimate cooldown can come back up for that. and you can get that advantage in Summoner Spell.
Exactly. That's why you fish around the 1.5, 2 minute mark instead of 30 seconds beforehand. You've got to make sure that your cooldown has returned, whereas theirs is still down. You know, Azael taught me that as a principle of MMO PvP back when I first moved out here. These guys are always trading back and forth here in the bottom lane.
Keeping the pressure on him, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so MMOs, okay.
Yeah, no, Azael was just telling, I was like, Azael, I've never been any good at MMO PvP. What's the trick? He's like, you just make them burn a better cooldown than you burn. That's it. He's like, that's all it is. You make them burn better cooldowns, and then you kill them when they have no cooldowns because they're bad and you're good. I'm like, okay.
All right.
That's the way to do it.
I especially like the they're bad and you're good part.
I don't even remember if he said that. It was just like the bravado that he had in saying it, because, you know, Azael's just such a chill dude. He makes it sound so easy.
All right, 5 seconds on the dragon, and it looks like we got a K'Zix walking down. Teleport used to get there even quicker. Haeri could answer on the Ahri. Looks like they're going to start it up themselves. He's going to have to come in quick.
Haeri's going to teleport down. Summit clears the wave away from the tier 1 turret. Team Liquid a little separated right now. This is something you got to be concerned about. Ssumday steps forward. Nukeduck waiting off to the side. Summit wants to try to mark him, make sure LeBlanc can't jump in there. 100 Thieves now the ones slightly separated too. Team Liquid, 4-man grouped up on top of the Drake. They want to engage. Closes at about half. Team Liquid still trying to take this. The Drake is secured as Summit chases away Nukeduck, but he only kills the clone. Team Liquid managed to fight this one well so far, but now Haeri's going in to try to get a little bit more. The cozy campfire keeping everybody healed up as Haeri now has to flash back. It's Team Liquid deciding they've gone too far and choosing not to pursue anymore.
Summit with the wraparound to the backside. You're forced with this decision with LeBlanc cone. Which one are you going to go for? And both of them were running straight. So he chose the one running straight towards their base, but that was the clone. So Nukeduck did get out without having to burn his flash. A little bit of a yoink here from Closer. Easy for Kha'Zix with the Q damage. But it was a really good positioning move here from Summit to be there for the wraparound on the snapback for LeBlanc and force them out. Team Liquid, they end up getting just the dragon though, not getting the chase down on kills. And then Haeri tried to make the big play there with the charm, but ends up having to go at a Summoner Spell deficit and flashing out using the last charge of the Ahri ultimate.
Yeah, we've honestly not got a lot of action here in this game. 1-1, 20 minutes in. 1 kill per 10 minutes. Both of these squads fine, playing it out slow.
Those are rookie numbers, Flowers. We need to pump those up.
Pump those numbers the hell up, Kobe. I need some PvP in my League of Legends game. But it does mean usually...
jump in the arena. Let's go.
Usually when we've got games like this that are super slow on the kills, once you do finally get that one fight that everybody commits to, it kind of just decides so much of the momentum of the game up until the Nexus falls.
I kind of like the setup here and the maneuvering done by Team Liquid. Teleport back out to the side lane here for a quick push on his 2-item power spike for Summit. Black Cleaver done. Should be able to get the tower commitment here for him.
Yep.
Solo tower gold again for Jax. Juicy.
Easy, easy, easy.
Got a nice isolated lead there versus the K'Zix.
Yep, Summit bringing that up to all 3 outer turrets taken by Team Liquid, whereas 100 Thieves still yet to claim a single turret this game, but they remain with a gold advantage despite that difference. As Nukeduck jumps in towards Yeon, but he's not going to find the connection on the chains. Pyosik hanging out to the side of mid lane here. And when you think about it, 3 turrets worth of gold is a lot of gold. So for 100 Thieves to still have the lead, we look at the farm differences in the jungle roll. Hold on, it's Summit jumping in there together with Pyosik. Closer's down to 51 HP, but he lives to see another day.
Better be careful where you're hopping, Kha'Zix. Squishy little bug there. You got some good lethality and some good vision control, but double buffs on LeBlanc this time around, so maybe it's more than just the cheeky little trade. Looks like it is going to be a nice chunk, but that's about it.
And what I was saying before that showed up was Closer's got way more farm than what Pyosik has. In a game where there's just no kills on the board, the farm is the only thing that's really going to be separating everybody. And in every role, well, not every role, but top, I guess, because AD carry is pretty much even. But in mid lane, there's a small advantage for Nukeduck. And then when you look up in that jungle, it's plus 40 for Closer, which is a big part of the advantage for 100 Thieves here with the gold lead that they have despite the turrets. So Closer's one of the guys I got my eyes on. Whenever we do finally get a fight in this game, Kha'Zix's impact in that fight is paramount to which way it goes.
And every time we get a little snapshot of this LeBlanc versus Ahri, tiny bit more pressure from Nukeduck's side on the LeBlanc. And even without kills and just a little bit of farm diff there, gets a bounty pop up on his head. As 100 Thieves, you're mentioning how no towers a blemish on their record. Well, those towers are very low. I always have called that standing gold.
Yeah.
It's very easy to take. And it's just standing there on the map. The outer one's especially very easy as Ssumday gets chased off by the LeBlanc this time around.
Yep, jumped over the wall to try to guarantee that chain connection, but the rest of the team couldn't follow up there for any more of a punish. Nukeduck now looking at CoreJJ, who had to try to get away from that one as 100 Thieves now trying to prepare for the Team Liquid re-engage. Closer charmed up by Haeri. The damage on the bug and they squish him flat. Team Liquid, team fighting better and finding the enemy jungle.
Oh, doing a little zigzag there on the Kha'Zix with the ultimate on the cloud speed, but it doesn't matter. Squishes him all the same. Closer goes flat, and Team Liquid, now they've got some Baron baiting potential on their hands. They get right in there. Red white gun? He's got the white gun chakram stacking up with the cozy campfire healing them. Team Liquid, they're not messing around.
100 Thieves is coming in. They don't have a jungler. It's not a 50-50 flip. Busio going to take some damage as Summit goes in to fight everybody here in a 1v4 and guarantee the rest of the team's going to be able to take the Baron away. And Team Liquid gets a 24-minute Baron.
That was beautiful. They've got red white gun. They burned down the Baron. Summit goes in knowing he's got stopwatch. The extra gold value really paying off for that top lane difference at the moment. He goes in, hits the double stun, forces the retreat from 100 Thieves. Stopwatch makes sure Team Liquid don't even give up a kill, and that ensures that they can get both objectives, not just the Baron off of that pick. They will also get Dragon number 3, setting themselves up for that Dragon Soul. Huge stuff here for Team Liquid coming out against 100 Thieves. Even with fairly few kills, some really nicely managed objectives.
And that's what I'm saying. When you have a game that is such low kill value like this one, 3 in 25 minutes, whenever a kill does happen, it just ends up leading to so much more. And Team Liquid getting the Baron off that single kill onto Closer. Closer wants that one back, I tell you that right now, because he was having a good game up until that point with the advantages he had built up through his superior farming, but now it's Team Liquid who have this Baron and have the chance to pick up some of this tier 2 turret gold. I wonder how much they'll be able to get here. They do have the split push set up. It's Haeri actually split pushing away from the rest of the squad. Summit bouncing back and forth between the lanes. Pyosik leading the charge. Nukeduck takes a lot of damage there. Tidal Wave fired off by Busio to make sure that TL can't follow it up. Doublelift takes a lot of damage. He's rooted up. The execution comes in, and Team Liquid, they're going to get the tier 2 turret. They're going to take Doublelift with them, and now they're marching towards the base.
Oh my goodness, the range on Green Gun Aphelios and Milio there. Beautiful stuff. They're inside the base. Flowers, they're not done here either. Mid lane's going down at the same time as bottom lane. Haeri's trying to work in towards that inhibitor turret. Bottom inhibitor is toast. They can rotate up to meet him there. They still have a full minute left on this Baron, so the pressure is unrelenting.
CoreJJ did have to use the Breath of Life in the base, though. Nukeduck attaching the chains to him, forcing that out because otherwise it would have threatened the kill on the incredibly squishy support that Milio is. So Team Liquid now recognizing, hey, we spent a lot down there. We got what we needed to get. We got the kill. We got the bottom lane inhibitor turret. Everybody retreats, shops up now. Unfortunately, recalling at this time means that there's not a whole lot more value you can get out of 30 seconds remaining of Baron buff, but they went from about slightly under a 1,000 gold deficit to a 3,000 gold lead thanks to that entire sequence of events.
And inhibitor being down is not scoreboard pressure, but very real pressure for these late stages. 27 minutes into the game, which will help out with that map control. Flowers, never underestimate the playmaking ability of green-purple gun, okay?
Green-purple, all right.
A lot of people laugh at those guns. Those guns are no joke in the siege scenario. Nicely done there from Yeon. Got the root, got the kill. And now TL, after the reset, they got to spend all that money. And Summit, even without teleport, send the Jack back down to the bottom side. Nukeduck finds him in the brush, and so he has to be a little bit more cautious with no vision, but same idea there for them.
Thanks. Ssumday getting focused here. The ulti from Pyosik locks him down, but honestly, they just don't get a whole lot more follow-up on it. It's Pyosik, Yeon, and CoreJJ. Haeri coming up to join them now, but he is on top of a ward. He'll clear out that control ward of his opponents, but not the regular one next to him. Summit now pushing down mid lane. The super minions pushing down bottom. So Team Liquid having a 3-lane threat right now as Haeri's Charm's not connecting onto any targets. Nukeduck clears out the wave in mid. Ssumday goes to clear out the wave in bot. The Team Liquid players trying to push down the tier 2, but Yeon just gets popped. Beautifully done from 100 Thieves, and now they're gonna find some more. Summit forced to use the Counter-Strike to stay alive as he tries to disengage in time. Pyosik wants to slow these guys down and buy more time for that escape. Summit is just running and running and running and running and running and running and running. Haeri fires off the charm, makes sure that he runs away. Team Liquid, little bit of carelessness there, gets punished, and Yeon goes down.
Right before our eyes, big stuff out of 100 Thieves. Doublelift tops him, gets the revenge onto Yeon for the previous kill, and that's going to be the tower down. Now Team Liquid, the rest of the squad is here.
Ssumday will try to
4v4, no Kha'Zix, no AD carry for TL.
keep everybody else safe. Summit wants to engage. He's found Busio already, and now they're going to pick up a second. It's already over with the bottom laners killed off. There's no way the rest of the Thieves can stand and fight, and Team Liquid just dogpiles them. They get 3 for nothing.
They like that trade. Summit with the flash in on this. Jax Pyosik looking to stop the recalls.
Very
Pyosik
nice.
does stop Nukeduck for now.
You won't be able to stop him completely. You can see Nukeduck actually committing the teleport to guarantee that he escapes. He'll make it back to the base.
Okay.
But the tier 2 turret is down. Team Liquid with Summit, Haeri, and CoreJJ. They want to force down this tier 3 turret. Doublelift is still left dead for the next 10 seconds. Busio only just now respawning. Team Liquid can't stick around to finish off the inhibitor, but they will open up that second lane of the base without needing a Baron to do it. And the super minions are still putting that pressure in bottom lane.
Big plays from Summit this game. Definitely like what we're seeing out of him this time around on TL. A lot of practice put in from this team. Training up at MSI over in Europe. And he upgraded the stopwatch into the Zonias as well for the further playmaking. He's level 16. He sees the clump. He follows the clump into the alcove, gets the stun. Massive damage here. And you can see on the minimap, you know, they go for this because even though they know, yeah, you just killed our AD carry, we don't have our Aphelios, we see Kha'Zix bottom side on minimap. He can't get here. So nice wrap around here.
And they all went in together. They all went in at the same time. They flashed in together. They dropped all their abilities together. And that's why they're able to get this done. Now they got to be careful. 100 Thieves coming to contest Team Liquid inside their own jungle as the Thieves constantly try to keep Ssumday between Team Liquid and everybody else on the 100 Thieves squad. Summit jumping back to the safety of his minions as the Baron is started up by TL. They recognize that 100 Thieves are paying attention over to Summit there in the mid lane. There's super minions in the bottom lane. They are pulling the Thieves in multiple different directions, trying to force them to make a choice as Summit has to use the Zonias. He will surely die here, but how long is it going to take? The Counter-Strike back on a Doublelift. The Baron is secured, but Summit will be traded away. Doublelift at 1/3 HP as Haeri comes around from the side. Ssumday's tanky, but he ain't tanky enough. Haeri drops them with the help of his friends, and 100 Thieves now got to try to get back. It's a 4v4 on the map, and Team Liquid have their second Baron of the game as Pyosik finishes off Doublelift, courtesy of Summit's damage earlier, and Busio's looking like a fish out of water. Nice sidestep back from world champ Pyosik as he keeps the Nami locked down and guarantees a 3v2 for the rest of his team in the enemy base. Doublelift's dead for 35, Ssumday's dead for 25. Team Liquid's won the game. Nukeduck trying to get away with only 100 HP as Closer and Nukeduck are the only two left standing. 20 seconds on Doublelift, 10 seconds on Ssumday. Closer trying to keep himself alive, clear out some of these minions. Nexus turrets are both gone. Team Liquid wants to grab a win. Ssumday's back in about 4 seconds. 100 Thieves trying to get away. I don't think it happens. Closer jumps in and wants to kill on Haeri, but he ain't gonna find it. Ssumday comes back to life. Only to go all out, only to go all in, only to go all gone. And Team Liquid takes down 100 Thieves.
Flowers, They said this year when they made the squad, they were going to be a summer team. Summer is starting out 2-0 for them. This game, much more convincing than the game yesterday. I think Pyosik, especially early game, he did so much. Burning the flash off Doublelift, helping out the bottom lane, relieving that pressure first, then going up topside to get the first blood. The Sejuani deserved the antics at the end, burning down the Nami in the 2v1 with the Sunfire, just following her around, able to get those chase down kills, stopping the backs, played the engage really nicely for them. Team Liquid here with a big showing on day 2.
And I want to praise Summit. This is a guy who's always been good early. He's been strong in lane. Then he gets caught out a lot. He's not on the same page with the team. This time around, he's the guy who's the sacrificial lamb when they get the second Baron. He's the guy that swoops up and leads the charge with the flash in and the counter-strike with the Zhonyas in that top lane alcove play. Summit's on the same page as everybody else, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Both of those guys stepped up huge in this game.
Team Liquid looking much more coordinated this time around. Smiles on the faces. 100 Thieves do drop here, but yesterday it looked quite good, and they had some good looks today in a couple points. Definitely a lot to review, but let's take another look here at the final one. This is what you're talking about, the sacrifice.
Yep.
Summit in mid lane. Yet again, this time he actually does go down as he tries to get the counter kill onto Doublelift. A lot of burst damage, make him try and think twice there, but Doublelift with the Gale Force able to finish him off. Ssumday, though, is also caught at the same time by the rest of Team Liquid, so it's not like, hey, they got Baron and then they're going to be down a person as well. The double recalls stopped by Pyosik. You're not getting away from him. Ultimate into WQ with the Aftershock on. He takes care of Doublelift, and then he goes for the 2v1. The funniest part was the very end, where he's just following around Busio, burning him down with the stacked up Sunfire cape. But stacks it up here, and then now we go for a little ride, buddy. Burn, burn, burn.
That's as bad as seeing the Karthus above your head.
And then he dances on the body.
No
Burn,
way
baby, burn.
out there. Honestly, awesome showing from Team Liquid. That's some of the coordination that I wanted to see. That's the improvements that we've all been waiting for so long from the squad. A reminder to everybody out there, tickets are officially on sale for the LCS Championship in Newark, New Jersey on August 19th and August 20th. Head on over to Ticketmaster.com right now to claim your spot. And with that third game of the day all wrapped up, we're past the halfway point for day 2, and we're going to toss to a break. Once we return, it'll be time for VOD review with Haeri, then NRG versus IMT coming up after. They gotta be respectful. Busio's nearly killed, but instead it's Closer swooping in to pick up Yeon. Now Pyosik's locked up in the bubble, and 100 Thieves have outfought him. Now trying to prepare for the Team Liquid re-engage. Closer charmed up by Haeri. The damage on the bug, and they squish him flat. Keep everybody else safe. Summit wants to engage. He's found Busio already, and now they're gonna pick up a second. It's already over with the bottom laners killed off. There's no way the rest of the Thieves can stand and fight, and Team Liquid just dogpiles them. They get 3 for nothing.
With Verizon's new My Plan, I get exactly what I want and only pay for what I need.
Now I'm in charge of my plan.
Introducing My Plan from Verizon. You get exactly what you want and only pay for what you need. And it all starts at just $30. It's your Verizon.
Who said you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Typical beginner's mistake.
Yes, they all start from the outside.
So, will we help him?
What else? Here, try it with Red Bull.
Red Bull gives you wings.